What it do, what it do, what it do. Your boy Daru on another solo episode on Therapy Hub from me to you. And thank you everybody for watching and thank you everybody for tuning in and thank you to all our new subscribers. I think we are over our 100 subscribers for and it's fairly new. Our live is fairly new. I'm talking about within a week or so. Or a month, sorry, a month. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. And I'm not really worried about how fast it grows. I want it to take its time because I want to have good content, and I want everybody to enjoy the content that we create. But man, we're gonna get into a few topics. Last week we spoke about a few things. One of the topics that we talked about was should we say F the streets? We're also going to get into another topic um, about a documentary that I'm actually working on. I haven't really spoke about the documentary that much, but we are working on it, and I just want everybody to know the details about the documentary and what it's about. So we're going to be talking about that as well. The other thing that I want to bring up is this is something that I've read in a book from John Maxwell, one of his daily readers. If y'all don't know who John Maxwell is, he's an entrepreneur, but he's also a Christian leader, and he is a motivational speaker and an influencer, and an influencer in the sense where he influences business. He's a business influencer, and he has books. He writes a lot of books, and one of his books I have is like a daily reader, and it teaches you just different things throughout the day to work on. And one of the things that I read about was the law of legacy and the importance of the law of legacy because we all know as people we're never going to grow or sorry we're never going to live forever, right? We're going to die at some point. We don't know when. That's another thing. Like if we could say, okay, we're gonna die in 25 years, like if we know when we were gonna die, like if it was marked, stamped when we were gonna die, then we could plan our legacies a little bit later on in life. But we don't know when we're gonna go, and it's important that we plan our legacies and or we create our legacy, and we also um, we acknowledge how important it is. So I want to talk about that. All right. But before we get into any of our topics, um, I wanted to talk about a conversation today. Not about a conversation, but I wanted to kind of like share what I just finished having a conversation with my mom, and I just wanted to share it with that with everybody. And a lot of people that know me, I've kind of had a up and down relationship with my mom. I've always loved her, but our relationship's always been up and down, and I've kind of I feel bad as just a person that, or as a son and a human being that I'm distant from my mother, and it just as I'm getting older, it's kind of creating more of a how should I say it? I'm starting to realize more. I'm starting to, understand more, and having her involved in my life is very important. And you know, I know at times I may get a little overwhelmed with the past and things that we've been through, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff that we've been through, it's not even that serious. You know what I mean? Like she's always been there as as a mother. She's never neglected me to the sense where, you know, when I was a child, I was like left with no food or anything like that. Like she never neglected me in that sense. She was always there for me. She always um, you know, nurtured me, and I kind of feel like there's some things as a son that I did wrong, and I'm working on those things. And here on Therapy Hub, this is where we talk about some of the things that that we need to use some therapy with. And you know, I just feel like as a son, I could have been a little bit more understanding to her life, and kind of like was just a little bit more respectful as a son. I was, always had some type of rebuttal of with certain things, and when I went through a situation with her, and it was about my father, and my father had raised me, and then I found out that he wasn't really my father at 12 years old. I held a grudge at my mother for years. I held a grudge against her for years. Um, Actually, most of my life, and up until my adulthood, it was like I was bitter about it, and I don't know why. Like I just felt maybe like I could have had better guidance. The father that I had, he was a great father. Rest in peace, Ramsey. I love you. He was a great father. He was there for all of us. But I just I felt like it wasn't like like she owed me something, and she really didn't, because when I did find out that my father wasn't my father, my real father, biological father, and I told him, I started noticing things different. Like I started noticing that my family members were like kind of like distancing themselves from me. And it hurt me. I don't know. It hurt me a lot. And I think I took that same grudge, and then I also like put that against my mother too. Like I blamed her for that, without realizing that even though my father wasn't my real father, and I found out that he wasn't my real father, she still provided me with a father. It wasn't like I was fatherless, like many of my friends were. A lot of my friends were fatherless. They never even had a father to bring them lunch money, or to pick them up from school, or to care about what they did or how they got into trouble. My father was, when I got in trouble, he was there. you know, if my mother would even mention, "Hey, I'm calling your father," I would straighten up. So he instilled fear in me, and he was there as a father in my life. So to me, he's my dad. No matter if he's my biological father or not, he's my dad. He named me. I have his middle name, and I have his last name. So regardless of what any of my family members want to say or think, I'm more connected to my dad than they think, because I have his middle name. He named me, so that means he was there from birth. Like you can't name somebody if you weren't there from birth. Like you didn't change my name at 12 years old. you know what I mean? Or at 7 or 5 years old, I didn't change my name. I was named at birth. So that means that he was there from day one. He wasn't there from day, like when I was 3, or that's a stepfather, right? Somebody that comes in your life and plays a part of your life somewhat sometime later on, right? As you grow older, that's a stepfather. But he he wasn't. He was there from when he was born. He was there from when I was born. So to me, that's my father. I have his middle name, his last name. I have gave me my first name. So I had to thank her for that. I had to thank her and say, you know what, Mom, thank you so much for um, still providing me with the father. As much as I held that grudge against you, I'm sorry. And I want you to understand this, and I want this to be a healing process for you, because I feel like she's gonna feel a lot better knowing that in life, knowing that, yeah, like he appreciates I still provided him with a father. Like he wasn't fatherless. And there was a man that was willing to step up, right? That's another thing. Because back in the days, there weren't too many men that were willing to step up. Not like now. So I tell my kids, like, you know, you guys had it good, because back when I was growing up, there was no fathers in the picture. Hardly. And if there was, you were lucky. So that set a real, it set a stone, it set a real, it gave me understanding, and it really made me understand and realize, my mom, she was incredible. And not even just to say that, like she went through a lot of stuff. And for her to still be around, and she out survived both her baby fathers. And to see that, and to see from the struggle that she's been through, is amazing. And I just wanted to share that with her today. Um, and without getting into too much other details of what we spoke about, but we had a good conversation today. I haven't talked to my mom in a while. We spoke today for over an hour, so it was good. I actually feel great, and and yeah, I just I feel really good, man. I feel really, really, really good, and yeah. So that's for that. We're gonna move on to something else, but I just kind of wanted to put that out there, because I wanted people to really understand, even sometimes when they hear me vent, because I know a lot of my friends, they know how I feel sometimes and how I carry on and how I go on. They know, right? So, like, I wanted people to kind of understand the like how I feel about this, like my whole um I just wanted people to understand how, or what I went through with this situation, and kind of, you know what I did today, and how it made me feel. It made me feel a lot better. I kind of cried a little bit, as you can probably see in my eyes right now. Um, but it made me feel better, and not just me. It made my mom feel better, because she deserves that, you know. And we're getting older, and we gotta understand that we're not gonna be around each other forever. So, there's something that I told my mom today that really probably touched her heart today too, because it was something that I felt like she needed to hear. And one of the things I said was, I love you, and no matter what, I'm always gonna love you. But if I need you to be there for me. I need that support system too. You're my mom, but you know, for the most part, now she's getting older. I got to be her support system, right? So, anyways, I hope what I just mentioned to everybody is something that you're gonna, that we take in, and we really we apply it, and it helps you with whatever situation that you're going through with your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, godparent, or foster parent, whoever raised you, or whoever is close in your life that you feel that you want to make a reconnection with. I hope this helped, because it helped me. It made me realize that sometimes in life, instead of blaming the other person and are putting your finger out there, sometimes it's good to take accountability and to apologize for things, and just to kind of like leave it open to a new beginning, a new start. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel and where I'm coming from today. And I kind of feel better, to be honest. I feel a lot better. Anyways, should we say F the streets? We talked about this last time, or last Friday on our live. We were having some technical difficulties with our microphone, so the microphone sound didn't really come out the best way, or the best way we wanted it to come out. But um, we had a really good conversation, and we had a guest from D2E Network, Bino. Shout out Bino. Shout out everybody at the D2E Network. My boy Rastafari Samurai, who's co-hosting with me every Friday live with us on Therapy Hub Live on AMTV and D2E. I think it's EQ International TV. So make sure you tap in with that. Um, but we spoke about, and everybody had their opinions and why. I think Bino was like against it. He was, Bino's a street revolutionary kind of guy. So, and I respect it, and so am I. But I kind of have a different view on things and how things should how we should view things as human beings. And being somebody that was raised in the streets, that's from the streets, was a part of the streets. I feel that I have the right to say fuck the streets. I have the right to say, especially what I've been through, um, wrongful convictions, you know, in and out of jail. You just you can name it. And for somebody that's been through that, right, and lived that lifestyle, and now that I chose a different lifestyle, I'm out of that lifestyle now, right? I chose a completely different lifestyle. I'm not that person anymore, right? I'm a completely different person now. And because of that, I don't want to go back to the streets. Not to say fuck the streets, as in like I hate the streets, because you got to remember, I come from the streets. I hate what comes with it. I hate the fact that we're killing each other in the streets. I hate the fact that we're using, you know, we're using each other. We're we're like intentionally hurting each other, taking money, robbing each other, stealing from each other. Like, it's a fucked up place. Right? And like, I don't feel like anybody wants to stay in the streets. And I don't think that the streets is something that you choose. It's like, if you choose the streets, there's something really wrong with you. Especially if you came from like a good family and a good upbringing. The streets usually are for people that are lost. People that they use the streets as that's their family versus anything else. Those are the people that are not going to say fuck the streets, because they're still a part of the streets. They may not have certain experiences that they've gone through yet, they may have, but they may not have certain experiences that they gone through. They may particularly be even quite young. So the streets to them is they're still connected to the streets. Now I want to bring something up, okay? And I know this is going to really um this is really gonna make you think, right? Have you ever had love somebody? Shout out everybody that's tuning in to our live. If you're tuning in, we are talking about last week's episode. Shout out D2E, Dino, everybody at D2E. We're talking about um, just my. I'm kind of like just adding on to my perspective of why I say fuck the streets. And have you ever had loves for somebody, but you just don't want to fuck with them? Please throw it in the comments if you can relate. Even I don't care how much people we got in there. Throw it in there if you can relate. Have you ever had love for somebody and you're just like, yo, fuck this person, bro. I got love for you, but I don't want to fuck with you no more. I can't. Like, you put me through a lot. We went through this, that, and the third. It's a good journey. It's been a journey. I'm thankful for some of the things that we've been through, some of the things you may have taught me, right? But for the most part, I can't fuck with you no more because it's just not my right, Pinky. Thank you. Pinky on our comments said yes. Right. We all go through that. We all go through that. And this the streets. If you come from the streets, you've been in the streets. You've been in, you know, in prison. And I'm talking about multiple of times. If you're in the streets, I'm going to tell you something. My cousin always, and I think I mentioned this last time. My cousin is doing 10 years right now. And my cousin always told me, yo, I'm like, yo, last time, I'm like, yo, cuz, aren't you tired of going to jail? Are you tired? He's like, nah, B. He's like, yo, I don't care how much times I go to jail. He's like, when I became a gangster, I signed up for this. I knew that this was gonna be the outcome of me being a gangster. Jail or death. And I'm prepared for both. That's what he told me straight up. Right? So when you're a part of the streets, if you are in the streets and you don't want to leave the streets, that's the mentality you're going to have because you know that you're living in the streets for a reason, you know. But a lot of people go into the streets and they don't have that mentality. When I started getting involved in the streets, I never really necessarily knew that that could be the outcome, but I knew one day I was going to end up in the penitentiary, and I did. So that's when I decided, okay, I got to turn my life around now. What do you say in the comments? But it's some people for a season. Hold on, let me turn this back. But some people for a reason. Can you say that again? You want to? Oh, you want to join? All right, hold on. Let me say it. I'm gonna join. So you want to join? We're pre-recording on this. We're not live on this one, but we're pre-recording. But we're live on our Instagram live. So tap in. I just accepted your. There you are. Well, go on, Pinky. That's right.
There are people that will come in your life and they're there just for an opportunity. Oh, okay, I see this person there. I can do whatever. And when that season is over, they're out. But then there's people that will actually stick with you no matter what, like good, bad, they're down. They're down. Like they don't care if you're up, they don't care if you're down. They're gonna stick you through it. Like some of these people actually become your family at the end of the day. And I understand where you're coming from with that, F the streets mentality, and also with your cousin, what you're saying, why he has the mentality, he's institutionalized.
That's right.
So because he's so used to this. He's used to that environment. He's correct. I knew when I got into this life, it was either I'm going to jail for life or I'm going to the grave. And these are the sacrifices that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to the street life. These are the things that come along with it. You're not everybody's built for it. Not and don't get it twisted. It's not only men out there. Us females we be putting in that work. I am one of them. And I'm an OG, and now no, like I got kids. I got to think about, like, does it look good for my kids to be like coming to see me behind glass, or like, oh, my mom's is a G, and no. Like, yeah, you can have the rep, and they know I ain't the one to play with, but at the same time, I'm gonna show you there's better things you could do. There's more positive things that you can do than there is negatives. So I think that what that is the issue is that there's not enough of the OGs nowadays showing these kids, you know what, like, this is what you want to do? All right, I'm going to give you a chance. But the minute you F up, that's it. You got to come off the block, because now you're heating up the block, and you're going to make it worse for the people out there. Or they're not even showing them the outcome of what can happen if you do come out here. You know what I mean? So there's no accountability for the OGs.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. And that's people, like, we got to understand that, right? Like, we got to know, okay, look, number one, the only people that are going to actually make a change in the world is us. Not the system, because the system ain't going to change. Not the politics, because they're the same and they're a part of the system. It's us as people. We got to make our changes. How we make changes is by leading by example, like you said, right? And it just sometimes it irks me to hear, like, because some people who saying, like, oh, how can you say F the streets? They're only saying that because they may have got rich from living a street lifestyle, which is okay. That's okay. That's right. And
Maybe you got rich from being in the streets, but at the end of the day, like, it wasn't earned, like, in a way that when you look back, you're like, man, like, oh my gosh, all that work and sacrifice. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you did make sacrifices, but you sacrificed your life. Chances of you getting locked up. But there's more to it. Like, the satisfaction of actually putting in work and knowing that you did this legitimately is better than street money to me personally. Now that I'm older, yeah, when I was younger, like, yeah, fast money was great. Like, making $5 a day. But like, some days you did make the $5. Some days you only make $50, and you got to figure it out. So you have to make sure. Okay, wait, do I have my re-up money? Okay, I can't touch that money because I need to. So it's like, and that's what a lot of these kids too is that you're in the streets, but you even have, like, the street smarts and education. That's two things that a lot of these kids are lacking, is that you're not even educated enough to even be out here book-wise. So how are you here?
Well, that's the thing. Like, we know that street smarts is good education as well, right? Because that's a proper way of living, right? You got to know survival when you're living in the streets. That's the most important thing. Survival is the most important thing, right? However, there's a difference between survival and actually, like, because when you're living for survival, you're surviving to survive. But when you're surviving to survive, you don't want to keep surviving to survive. You're gonna find a better way to. Yes. Yeah. Facts.
Um, I know what it is to sleep in a parking garage. I know what it is to stay in a crackhead motel because you know what? Like I said, some days you don't make that $5 bills, and you're like, you know what? I gotta stay in the $40 hotel tonight because that's all I got. You know, oh, I don't know how I'm eating tomorrow. More, you know, there's or you lose your product. Like there's so many things that come along the way where not everybody's built for it, and it's more difficult for a female than it is for a guy being out there. That's one thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one thing to date a dealer or a street and you know I don't want to say the word because we are, you know, but you know what? It's one thing to date a street guy, and it's another thing to be in the streets
That's right.
as a female.
That's right.
You know, it's a lifestyle, and it's either you want to do it or you don't. And sometimes you're forced to do it, and you don't want to do it. You just this is the only thing I could do right now, and I that's where it is. Like you're surviving to survive. You're doing it just to get by for the moment.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Man, I'm telling you, and the most important thing that we need to also understand too, Pinky, while I have you on here, and like the most important thing we got to understand is two things, right? What the streets have done for us, right? And what it can do for to us. Okay? And we got to take those and apply it because I think people are getting confused on what we mean by fuck the streets, right? We're-
It's not a game that is for okay. Like it's like basically playing the lottery. Not everybody's gonna win. Like you're taking a chance, you're taking a risk. Like if you get latched with certain things now, that's you're gonna do. You have to do the time. You do the like the saying says, or the parents used to tell you, do the crime, you do the time, right? So and like it's not fun to be in jail. It's not fun to be told
I hate
to
jail. Jail sucks. I hate it.
like ill. The food sucks.
Yeah.
Like I rather starve.
When y'all take pool, yeah. When y'all use a washroom, y'all sit down next to man. I use washroom and I man, I like that. I don't like that place.
Yo, you have to worry like me. I'm strictly dickly, and you got females up in there that are certain ways. So you have to be like, no, 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 I don't get down like that. Like, no, I'm good. Like, thank you. Like, like, and you got girls on there that will bad you up if you don't stand up for yourself. Like, going to jail is just like being in the streets. Like, it's just now more enclosements, like where there's nowhere for you to duck and dive. Now, if certain things go down, you start running off your mouth, you start doing certain things, it's more enclosement now, and it's catch you on the range, and it's a whole different ball game now.
Well, now that I have you on the line, Picky, we'll keep you on. I want to keep you on for the next topic that we have, and then we'll let you go. But I wanna ask you a quick question because it kind of like summarizes for what I'm talking about, right? Because in life we don't and especially as black people, I'm going to kind of overstress the black thing because that growing up, like today I was talking to my mom and I was like, mom, I know that you're not financially able to help me when I need. So if I do need help financially, which I never reach out to my mom financially, I never ask her for help financially, but I'm just hypothetically speaking, right? Because I didn't want her to feel that because she couldn't help me in that sense that she still is not a mother to me. You know what I mean? There's other things that you could do as a mother than support. Then I'm a grown man, anyways. I don't need I'm 42 years old. I don't need you to support me financially, right? But the support system I do need from you, right? Because it's my mama, right? And no matter how old I get as a man, my mama's my mama. That's right. I'm always gonna be a mama's boy. So I had no. Go ahead.
Previous conversation when you were talking on other day about your grandparents and how they weren't rich, but they were okay, right?
Yeah.
They did okay.
Yeah.
And myself, that's how I was. Like, I'm biracial. My father's black. My mom's white.
You're
I
biracial,
was raised,
Pinky?
yeah. My dad's black. My
I
dad's black. My
never
mom's
thought
white.
that you were mixed.
I know. I
Holy.
know.
You look like
So,
straight. Yo, that's
and it's
crazy.
the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Is my father raised me, and he was the one that was middle class. You know, he was doing great, whatever. So I grew up like in Ajax, where I like when I came to Toronto, I was in my teenage years, and when I came, everybody's like, "Why do you talk like that? You sound like a white girl." And I'm like, "What do you mean I sound like a white girl? Like,
Right.
isn't this like I spoke proper?" And it was just the way I was raised. Like I wasn't used to certain things, and it's not until I came and started living with my mom where that's when I really knew like struggle, like ghetto, and it's weird because usually it's the black side is the one that's usually ghetto, and it's the white side that's like well off. Where for me it's the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, my dad and is the one that was was well off. Like he.
So your dad was the white. Your dad was the white gentleman or the black gentleman? Your dad was white or black? Your, so your mom was white and your dad's black. So did your father? And let me ask you a question because I want to talk about the law of legacy. So the law of legacy. This is the point that I'm trying to come up with because the importance of because in our culture we don't really leave our what the hell is that? I got some. Oh, something. We don't really leave a legacy for our children, right? I got like salt on my sweater. It's like salt or something. I was tossing salt on my driveway, I think, and I think, yeah. Oh well. Yeah, like winter salt, and I do snow removal too. I'm a snow removal contractor. Yeah, yeah, I do. I do like this, but I think I got. Anyways, yeah, that's what that is. No, 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 no. This on my sleeve. Yeah. But So, anyways, I wanted to explain the importance of the law of legacy, right, and why we kind of have to leave a legacy for our children. I mean, I just started doing what I'm doing now as a contractor for the last 2 3 years now. So, and I'm just starting to become successful, right? And so I'll be honest with you, right? I struggled through years trying to figure out my purpose as a man, and that's another thing that I want to encourage people out there is like because we don't necessarily always know our purpose, and I think that's the most important thing as a human being, not even just as a man, as a female too, right? A human being is just to know your purpose. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
um, Myself, I just started my catering company, and I
Congratulations.
actually have my daughter helping me.
Nice.
Right. So
Congratulations.
I thank you, and I want her to be able to have that impact on her to show her, you know what, like you don't have to work for nobody. You can work for yourself. Yes, it's gonna take a lot. The struggle's real. It will take you, a while to build your clientele and get everything started, and prepare for the next 5 years that you're not gonna see anything residual until 5 years, like putting out, advertisement. Like in my instance, you need equipment, food. There are so many other things that go along with it. Depending on how you're going about it, are you mobile? Are you renting out a kitchen? Are you doing it from your home? It all goes down to how you're going about it, and I took business, so that's how I learned that first 5 years, don't look for anything. If you make, you're great, but don't expect it because
Yeah.
it's yeah, yeah.
And like I said to my mom, and like the same thing. I said, Mom, I know you don't got it. I'm out here hustling right now, Mom. I got it. So if anything, I'm gonna be your provider. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's the importance. And like my kids, I have all girls, right? So and the business that I own is it's contracting. Not to say females can't do women can't do contracting because they make amazing contractors, but like my kids just don't want to be a part of my business. They don't want any parts of my company. They're adults. I got a 22-year-old. I got a 23-year-old. I got, sorry, 23-year-old, 21, and a 19-year-old. Right? Well, my oldest has a child. My oldest has a child, so I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm getting. You're an adult now. You're right. Hmm. She could be an administrator. Yeah, yeah.
Follow up with if there's complaints. You have somebody that because being the boss nowadays, yeah, we have AI, but who wants to talk to a computer all the time? I want an actual person that I can empathize with. Like the computer can't empathize with me. The computer can't be like, oh, you know what, ma'am, I do apologize. Like it's all scripted when it comes to AI, whereas an actual human being will be able to be like, you know what, I do understand. Okay, you know what, what's your budget like, so we can work with you, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be discouraged as a female to be like, oh, my dad's a contractor, so I can't.
I don't think they're just. I don't think they're discouraged. I just think they're not interested. You know what I mean? I just think they just don't. They don't care about it. They just don't. You know what I mean?
You're not looking at the bigger picture. That's what it is that you're not. And I think a lot of these kids that are in their 20s and younger, they are not. They're looking at what's going to make me money right now, and I don't like it, so why am I going to do it? Right? And it's like something where I explained to my daughter, like, you like cooking, you like to help me cook, so now why don't you help me doing the job? Like, you're earning money from it, so you want things. You're 16 years old, you want certain things. By the time you're 18, but 2 years from now, the business, and there'll be points where I don't even have to go out to certain bookings because I can just send you, and you could be the boss. You could be the boss, and I can be like, okay, I'm gonna send my daughter. She's done this. She knows what she's doing. You go to this booking because I have to go to this booking. So that's where a lot of these kids are lost. It's not. It's like nobody is sitting down with them, explaining to them life. And I remember growing up in school, we had certain classes that we took. Those classes are not there no more. Like,
None of her classes. The sports teams, the cooking classes. We had woodworking classes and cooking classes. It was like, and you could do both. My grandpa, though, back in his day, it was
you could do cooking one semester, and then next semester you could do woodwork.
woodworking. Yeah, I did. I loved woodworking, man. That was my favorite.
I did both as a girl. I did both. I was like, you know what? Like, I do this all the time. Cooking, I do this all the time. Like, I've been cooking since I was like 9, right? So I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I don't wanna. I wanna actually go in the woodwork class, and I want to learn how to like saw and carve and do stuff that like the guys them could do. Like, why can't I do it? Because I'm a girl? Like, no, I'm doing it. Like, so, and I was happy to do it.
Well, to all you ladies out there, you heard Pinky. She was happy to do it. You can do contracting, man. I seen so many. I love seeing a woman in a construction outfit. I don't know what it is. Mm, it just turns me on, man. So like,
You see, there's nothing wrong with being a girl and getting dirty. Like, you know, like I think that a lot of women feel that if you get into contracting, that means like you're too manly, and no, it just means that you're smart. Like, you actually know where the money's at. Like,
Yep.
you know that you being an electrician, you'll make more money being an electrician than you'll be the person over the phone booking the appointments.
Exactly.
exactly. Yo, Pinky, do me a favor.
Yes.
I know you got some things going on. You got a few shows going on, and you got a few things going on. Let the people know how they can tap in with you, man.
So I am one of the correspondents for the D2E network. So big up the D2E network.
Shout out D2E.
We also have Talk the Things them Thursday. We did take a break, but we are bringing it back. So you guys check that out every Thursday, which is also on the D2E network. I'm also guest appearance Blue Motherfucking Monday. So if you guys see me, make sure you guys.
Blue Monday. Shout out Bino.
Yes, Blue Motherfucking Mondays, tap in. And we get into the topics on there. They're real topics. We don't like, it's just like another things that like Bino goes on with his rap, but he also lets the audience get involved, and there are guests that he'll have, and when he has his guests on there, he'll let them go through their different what does he call it, the speed round. And it's usually pretty informative. His topics are pretty in depth, things that are going on and things that people are scared to talk about, and he's like, no, like, I ain't afraid to say it. Like, so yeah, that's basically where you guys can find me. Is anywhere the D2E network is, that's where you'll find me.
That's what's up, Pinky. Thank you so much for coming on.
And also for all your events, catering needs, book It's Lit Catering. You can find me on It's Lit Catering _6.
You do catering too?
That's why, and we are versatile when it comes to the catering. We have seafood boils, we have oxtail, we have curry goat, we have charcuterie boards, we have chow mein, we have, you name it, we got it.
Wicked.
If you need something, we can do it. We don't have just one cuisine.
Wicked, man. Yo, Pinky, thank you for tapping in, man. We're gonna let you go. I want to see you again. I want to see you back on again. Love, enough love. All right. Don't know, Queen. Enough love. Bless. So there you have it. We have uh Pinky from the D2E network and Talk the Things. You don't know Blue Mondays. She tapped in and she gave us a good point of view, man. I always like Pinky's point of view. Pinky's a real one. Straight good. Pinky never hides anything. She'll tell you straight up, so I appreciate her, man. Um I just wanted to just go over one thing. We got shout out to D2E, shout out to Rastafari Samurai. We're working on a documentary. He's pretty much my camera guy. He's doing a lot of my shooting and my motion pictures and stuff like that. And he's also the sound engineer, the chief sound engineer. We have a couple sound engineering, but he's helping with the visual, the the visuality of the whole sound tech thing. And he's head of operations behind here at Therapy Hub on Fridays with our tech and stuff like that. He's taught me how to. I got the mic going on my own today. I know he's probably. I called him today, like stressing, and he's like, "Man, I got no time for you right now." And I'm like, "Grr!" But I messaged him. I'm like, "Don't worry, I got it." He's like, "Yeah." But yeah, so shout out everybody over there at D2E, man. That's family, man. They've done nothing but show me love, and I gotta appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. But so A Man's Cry doc is pretty much a documentary that I've produced, I've written, um, and I'm pretty much narrating it. And it's co-directed by Rastafari Samurai as well. So he's doing a lot with me in this documentary. He's playing a big part in it as well. And yeah, it's pretty much about men's mental health and the root causes to men's mental health. So we interview lots of people. We got and I'm not gonna say, I don't want to really spoil who we have on there, but we got some people. We got some people on there that it's really well known, uh, and they're sharing their insights on mental health challenges that they may have or they may have faced, or that they may have advice or some input to, or some insight, I should say. More, they have insight into what's going on. So shout them out. Or sorry, shout out everybody here at Motion Plus Films and EQ International TV. Working on the whole documentary. And yeah, it's crazy. We, and like I said, we get into like prison. We talk about prison. We talk about relationships. We talk about starting from youth. We talk about the real root causes to why men are suffering from mental health issues or mental health, and the resources that we have to fix them, and how can we fix them, and how can we come together and fix it. And then there's going to be some other documentaries that I'm working on over the time. All right. So stay tuned with that. So if many don't know what if you all don't know what I've been doing with my music, how come he hasn't been doing his music? And you're gonna, I had a couple producers hit me up the other day and just work on some things. So I'm gonna be working on some new music, but uh, for the most part, I'm here just doing my producing for my documentary. So the Man's Cry will be coming out in late February. So just stay tuned for the trailer, because the trailer is going to be coming out real soon. We're just wrapping up a few things, and yeah, going from there. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to shout out our main sponsor, Lost and Found by ShopX. They're pretty much one of the best places that you can get custom made apparel. They also do buying and selling. They do curated retro and unique gears, unique finds. And the most important thing they have is limited drops. So if you go on there, actually, if you scan the QR code right behind me, you see the banner right here, Lost and Found. There's TikTok and Instagram. If you scan those two banners, it will take you to their page, and you can see they have an actual gallery or an actual store where you can shop online and see the stuff that they have. And they got limited drops. So you please make sure, okay, that if there's anything that you see on that site, make sure that you jump on it right away, because they're limited drops. So they'll go like, sometimes, they'll have like stuff up to 10 to 11, and then only have like 50 drops, and then be at like 49 within the next day. Their orders run quick. So please holler at them and get your orders in, especially for those limited drops. All right. Your boy, my boy Shaz at Lost and Found, Shop X. All right. I want to shout out our other sponsor, Sultan Jewelers. We buy and sell gold. Come visit us at 1408 Gerard Street East in Little India. That's here in Toronto. That's 1408 Gerard Street East in Little India here in Toronto. Sultan Jewelers. Walk in there. They buy and sell gold. Ask them, whatever you want. They'll be more than happy. But they're more than happy to help you. But the most important thing is you tell them your boy Daru from AmTV sent you, and I'll guarantee they're gonna hook you up. All right. And who don't want to get hooked up with gold? Like, come on. Especially if you want to, get your wife a little or that fiance a new little ring or something real nice. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you holler at them. All right. Sultan, his brother, his whole family, they're amazing people. They're there to help you. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Therapy Hub today. I hope y'all enjoyed our episode today. Thank you for everybody who came in our live that supports us, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and hit that notification bell on our Instagram page. It is absolutely free. We'll give you a notification every time we upload a video to keep you on top of our content. All right? Thanks for tuning in, man. Peace.